Yo guys, what's going on? Well, welcome to another Toy Paradise. Today we're hitting up both book offs. This is, of course, the Pearl Ridge one. They had quite a few new things. They had a lot of new Transformer toys. The Studio Series. We just saw Grimlock. There's a whole bunch inside. Some great pops. I was trying to take a look back there. They had a Fred Flintstone and Mal from Descendants. They had a Pocahontas here, but freaking thing was, I think, around $60. Jiminy Cricket. The Gears of War pop. A lot of figures. Truthfully, they had some G.I. Joe. Right there's the Zartan. And the Cobra Commander from the Super 7. They had the other Zartan as well as Major Blood. They had the new Star Wars characters, the 3.75, the retros. They still had Vernon and the Rat King. Still kind of looking for a Shredder. A lot of Marvel Legends. They had a few new Star Wars Black Series characters. Great Ape Vegeta is still there. A few new Star Wars things. Of course, these are pretty expensive because they're in the glass case. Pokemon cards. Of course, the systems. I couldn't get to the games in both stores. But today was basically trying to focus on some Disney characters for Funkos.
Yeah, probably get it.
Yes, that is a Vegeta. Majin Vegeta, the original. Surprising he was a bit cheap.
I don't really have to get.
Figured he'd be more expensive, but oh well.
Radioactive Marty.
They had quite a few game related Funko Pops. They still had most of the Star Wars Funko Pops. Not the Star Wars Funko Pops that I'm looking for, but it looks like somebody actually sold their collection. They had the Boo in the costume, I think that was. I'm not sure. I really wasn't paying attention. Trying to see if there was anything that I wanted or that I was missing. Lady of the Tramp, that was pretty expensive. I think that was about $55.
thought you got that. I thought you got it.
I got it. Unfortunately, not a lot of Disney stuff. They had the Sanderson sisters, Timon, two Timons, a Tigger. Because the wonderful thing of a Tigger is a Tigger's a wonderful thing. And Hercules, if anybody's interested.
What is those one like this? Bombshell. Yes?
Yep. Yeah, like I said, there was a lot of good stuff. Negaduck. You wanted to come this way.
You!
Surprisingly, they had that.
I feel like it.
Their DC stuff did go down a bit. So Star Wars is starting to take over that. Yep. And we also hit off Downtown Book Off. Last week they had a couple of the Jaws pops. Unfortunately, they had two of the three. The one that I wanted seems to have been sold. But they did have a few pops that came in. They did have a Pocahontas, but it was the original Pocahontas, but it was the all gold version. So no. And they did have the original Mulan, but the box was totally hash. Thank you, but no thank you. They did have a lot of anime figures.
No balls.
A few.
You got no balls?
No.
Yeah. What I thought. Put my voice in.
If you're into anime, they did bring in some new pops. The pops that I was looking for, like I said, that one was gone, got sold. The best one of the three. And the other two, well, it wasn't what I was hoping for. They still had both Godzillas. They did have a bunch of new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pops. I don't know where they came from. Unfortunately, no new Shredder. Just the Turtles. They had Simba. a lot of venomized things, anti-venom. They had a toxin.
I got toxin last week.
I think so. Pretty sure. It was really weird. Stuff. Or anything to fill up the holes. You know. A lot of the serial characters.
Good for you. Bought it last week. Jerk.
They did have a Scooby-Doo pop that looked pretty cool, but it was more for the newer cartoons. Of course, we always have to take a look into this case. Someday, we might be buying something from this case. I don't know what the difference between that anti-venom is and the other anti-venom. I think one might be glow in the dark. Of course, the one in the case is probably that one. Robin Hood. They have some great pops. I'll admit that. Stuff that I kind of want. This is a bit expensive though. So it's been a busy Sunday, as you can see. Went shopping. It's been a busy week last week. It's going to be a busy week this week. My life is never simple. However, with that being said, this week at work I did spend a little money. Seem to have caught a cold as well, which sucks, but picked up Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. As you guys know, I love books. I have not read these, and I kind of want to compare them to the movies. I have my eBay order. Mr. Sinister coming in possibly tomorrow. And 2 Amazon orders. One should be on Saturday. The other should be next week. Hopefully. Might go down to 808 Collectibles Thursday. But, as usual, like I said, I'm starting to hate doing this because every single time we go toy hunting, almost always we find stuff. So, had to buy it. The Batman Azrael. Look at him. He's insane. So this is from the video game Arkham Knight. Yeah, I do remember seeing him in Arkham Knight. So this is the third Batman I have. The other two is Red Rain and the Batman Who Laughs. Azrael is definitely not a Batman or Bruce Wayne. He's a great story. So the comic book story is basically when they first brought in Bane, he broke the bat in half, and as Bruce was trying to mend his back, he gave the mantle of Batman instead of to Dick Grayson to Azrael. And Azrael became the Batman, but became a violent Batman. A more violent, a more brutal Batman who didn't care if he killed. So Bruce had to literally fix his back, get stronger, come back, not only beat Bane, but beat Azrael. That was the start of Azrael, but there is more story to it. I urge you, if there are so many great Batman stories out there, Batman vs. Dracula, where Red Rain comes in. The Batman Bane story, the Killing Joke story, the Death in the Family story, the Hush storyline. These guys have come up with some insane stories for Batman. And that is why he was and still is one of my favorite DC characters. Will I ever get a Batman pop? Possibly not. I'm not a huge Superman fan, but I'd get a Superman pop if it was the Christopher Reeves Superman. And if I do get that, then I will try and make a Justice League. Other than that, the Red Queen, Queen of Hearts. This is the Alice in Wonderland version. So we got Alice, the Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, the Queen of Hearts, the White Rabbit, shoot, March Hare? Can't really read that. But the rabbit that is drinking tea with the Hatter, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I like it that it's the Red Queen and the King. So I'm happy with that. I am a huge Maleficent fan. I already have Maleficent. I have Gaston. I have the 2-pack of Ursula and Cruella, but I would love to have them separately. Definitely need the Evil Queen. There's a bunch of villains that I definitely need to get to do Disney. There's a bunch of princesses that I need to get to do Disney. But I did finally get Merlin. This is the Sword in the Stone version. He comes with Archimedes, his owl. So it has Merlin, Arthur, Madam Mim, and the Dragon Madam Mim. I've seen these two, and Arthur. I barely see Merlin, so I had to pick him up. And then to finish off what I picked up at Pearl Ridge Book Off, Pinocchio the Blue Fairy, the Chase version. I believe this is from the live action movie. So we have the Blue Fairy, Jiminy Cricket, Figard, the cat, with Cleo the fish, Geppetto, and Pinocchio. I seen this version of Jiminy Cricket at the Downtown Book Off today. That version looks really cool, but it's not the version that I grew up with. So I didn't have to pick him up. Honestly, would love a Jiminy Cricket, but he probably costs a lot of money. So at Downtown Book Off, I had him when he first came out and I sold him because I didn't have room. Archangel, one of my favorite X-Men. Did pick up one of the Wolverines. There's a couple others I would love to get. I also would love to get the Gambit with the throwing cards. But one step closer to completing my Funko Marvel collection. Princess Tiana from the Disney Princess series. So, for those who don't know, this is from the Princess and the Frog movie. If you don't know, you should. This is 4 of the princesses. There's actually more. Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, Ariel, and Jasmine. And of course Tiana. I have the original Ariel, but I would love to get that one, as well as that Jasmine. I want Aurora, 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 but I would love to have her in the dress, just as Cinderella. I have two versions of her. I do not want the slave-looking. I want the princess-looking one. I do have Belle. I I have the peasant Belle though, which is my favorite Belle, but I do need a Princess Belle. I have Meredith. And I think that's all the print. I have Snow White, the original Snow White. I do need the newer version of Snow White. Definitely a long way to go. And to complete what I bought today, Captain Caveman! A lot of you are pretty young to remember this was an old school cartoon. This is the 2018 Summer Convention Limited Edition version. Online, I think it was going like 50, 60 bucks. So, back in the day when Hanna-Barbera was a huge success, they had several different characters. Yogi Bear, Scooby-Doo, Captain Caveman was one of them. Then they created the Flintstones, the Jetsons. And the thing with Hanna-Barbera is, for me, the coolest thing is that they usually combine the cartoons. So, Hanna-Barbera had the rights to the Archie comics to create cartoons. So they created a lot of different cartoons. One of my favorites, I think was Hanna-Barbera, was Devlin. They had I think, three. They had a Chinese family that was a mystery solving family before Scooby-Doo. Jabberjaw was a giant shark that came in. The Archie comics was their own mystery solving team with Scooby-Doo, Jabberjaw, Fangpuss, I think was, and there was so much cartoons from this one series. And if you were a Scooby-Doo fan, they actually had characters like Batman appear, the Harlem Globetrotters appear in the Scooby-Doo cartoons. They had the Archies come in, Jabberjaw came into Scooby-Doo, Speed and the gang, Speed Buggy. The I Dream of Jeannie had her own cartoon for one season. That appeared. Because Archie's did so good, they brought in the Josie and the Pussycats. They had their own cartoons. They appeared on Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo had a lot of characters appear in it. And it did so great that Captain Caveman appeared on Flintstones. And that did so great that they created another offshoot of Captain Caveman and his son. So it basically was Captain Caveman, Flintstones. Captain Caveman became a television series in the Flintstones, which he would appear with Fred and Barney, and then they created another series off of that. It was... Hanna-Barbera was so great. They made Saturday morning cartoons what it was. Anyway, guys, that's my haul this week. Been a crazy week. May not be over. Like I said, I have Mr. Sinister coming tomorrow. I may go to 808 Collectibles. You guys are coming along as usual. So we'll see what we see. Definitely need to order a few things. Trying to take a breather, let everything come in first though. Life is insane. But it wouldn't be fun if it wasn't. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the pops, the books. Always love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys are collecting. Talk to you soon. Take care.